Surah Al-Fatihah. Surah Al-Fatihah is the most important surah in the Quran. It's so important, in fact, that Muslims are required to recite it in every single unit of prayer. Without it, the prayer isn't even valid. Even though it's only 7 verses long, it captures the core message of the entire Quran, highlighting themes like the mercy of Allah, Tawheed, and the accountability of the Day of Judgment. It's a perfect introduction to the relationship between a believer and their Lord. Al-Fatihah was revealed in Mecca, and it's one of the earliest revelations given to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Because of its central role in prayer and its deep meaning, scholars refer to it as the mother of the Quran. Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah is the longest surah in the Quran, spanning 286 verses. It was revealed in Medina, and it covers a wide range of topics, from laws and rulings to stories of past nations, all while guiding the Muslim community on how to live as believers. But beyond its length, what makes this surah so powerful is its spiritual protection. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that reading Surah Al-Baqarah in your home keeps shaitan away. It's like a spiritual shield. One of its most famous verses is Ayat al-Kursi, verse 255, often called the greatest verse in the Quran. It speaks about Allah's power, knowledge, and control over the entire universe, and it's commonly recited for protection and blessings, especially in the morning or night. This surah is a manual for life, giving us practical guidance while constantly reminding us of the importance of obedience, patience, and belief in the unseen. And at its heart is the message: follow Allah's guidance and you will succeed. Surah Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf was revealed in Mecca and contains 110 verses. It's a surah the Prophet, peace be upon him, specifically recommended us to recite every Friday, and for good reason. This surah offers protection from one of the greatest trials to ever come upon mankind, the Dajjal. The Prophet said that whoever memorizes the first 10 verses, or in another narration, the last 10, will be protected from the deception of Dajjal. But even beyond that, Surah Al-Kahf is a powerful reminder about fitna in general, tests of faith, knowledge, and power. It tells 4 key stories: the story of the people of the cave, youth who stood firm in their faith; the story of the man with 2 gardens, a test of wealth and arrogance; the story of Musa and Khidr, a lesson in humility and hidden knowledge; the story of Dhul Qarnayn, a leader who used his power justly. Each of these stories speaks directly to the challenges we face today, just in different shapes and forms. That's why reciting this surah every Friday isn't just a habit. It's a way to refresh your faith and stay alert to the tests that surround you. Surah Ar-Rahman. Surah Ar-Rahman is one of the most beautiful and poetic chapters in the Quran. It was revealed in Medina and contains 78 verses, filled with powerful imagery and a deep emotional rhythm that touches the heart. The surah is named after one of Allah's most majestic names, Ar-Rahman, meaning the most merciful. And from beginning to end, the surah is all about the countless favors and blessings that Allah has given to mankind and jinn. One of the most striking features of Surah Ar-Rahman is the repeated verse, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. So which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? This question is repeated 31 times, almost like a reminder hitting the heart constantly, asking us to reflect, pause, and truly appreciate what we've been given. The surah paints vivid descriptions of Jannah, the rivers, the fruits, the companions, all rewards for those who live righteously. But it also reminds us of Allah's power and justice, balancing His mercy with awe. Surah Ar-Rahman isn't just recited, it's felt, and it's a surah that reminds you, gratitude is at the heart of faith. Look around you and ask yourself, which of Allah's favors can you really deny? Surah Al-Mulk. Surah Al-Mulk, meaning the dominion, was revealed in Mecca and has 30 verses. It may be brief in length compared to other chapters, but its message and reward are immense. The Prophet Muhammad stated that reciting Surah Al-Mulk protects us from the punishment of the grave and even defends the one who recites it regularly. It starts by praising Allah's power over life, death, and all creation, reminding us that this world is a test and every action matters. Verses like, "Do you not see any flaws in the creation of the Most Merciful?" This isn't just a rhetorical question, it's a challenge. Look at the sky, the earth, the systems in place. The more you reflect, the more you realize how perfect Allah's design is. Reciting it before sleep is like putting a spiritual shield over yourself. It humbles, protects, and reminds us that true control belongs to Allah alone, and in that, we find peace. Surah Maryam. Surah Maryam was revealed in Mecca and has 98 verses. It's named after Maryam, the mother of Jesus, the only woman mentioned by name in the Quran and the only one to have a full surah named after her. This surah is filled with emotional stories that highlight Allah's mercy and power. It begins with Prophet Zakaria making a heartfelt dua for a child and being gifted with Yahya despite his old age. Then comes the story of Mary, who miraculously gives birth to Prophet Isa after being isolated, slandered, and in deep pain. But Allah supports her throughout, reminding us that being tested doesn't mean mean that Allah has abandoned you. At its core, Surah Maryam is about miracles, patience, and trust in Allah, and how even the quietest prayers are heard. Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf was revealed in Mecca and has 111 verses. It's known as the best of stories, and unlike other stories in the Quran that are spread out across different surahs, the story of Yusuf is told in full, from beginning to end, in one place. Betrayed by his jealous brothers, Yusuf is thrown into a well, sold into slavery in Egypt, and later falsely accused and imprisoned. Yet, through it all, he rises to a position of power and is eventually reunited with his family in one of the most moving moments in the Quran. Surah Ikhlas. Surah Ikhlas was revealed in Mecca and has only 4 verses, yet its meaning is incredibly profound. It focuses entirely on Tawheed, the absolute oneness of Allah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Surah Ikhlas is equal to 1/3 of the Quran in meaning. It perfectly captures who Allah is: one, eternal, neither giving birth nor born, and incomparable to anything else. This surah leaves no room for shirk, no partners, no comparisons, no weaknesses. It's short enough to memorize in moments, yet powerful enough to shape your entire belief system. That's why it's recited so frequently in prayer. It reminds us that truly understanding who Allah is forms the foundation of everything. Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas. Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas are the final 2 surahs of the Quran. They are often called the 2 surahs of seeking refuge. Both were revealed in Medina and are recited together as powerful prayers for protection. Surah Al-Falaq teaches us to seek Allah's protection from external dangers, like envy or black magic, whereas Surah Al-Nas focuses on safeguarding us from internal threats, particularly the whispers of shaitan that target our hearts and minds. The Prophet ﷺ would recite these surahs regularly, before sleep and after prayers, using them as spiritual shields to protect his body, mind, and soul from hidden harm. If you want a simple yet powerful way to stay protected every day, these 2 surahs are your ultimate tools. May Allah bless you for watching this video. I hope it brought you closer to the Quran and inspired you. Comment your favorite surah and why it has improved your life. Assalamu alaikum.